What is up, LudyBros Army? It's your boy, Big Bro Lamar Ludy, and I have a special guest with me today, Lil Sis Leia Ludy, joining in today. Now, this video wouldn't be possible without her because she's the one who put me on. She's the one who put me on to the whole Godzilla series, and we sat down today to jump in and watch Godzilla versus Kong. We just finished it, and we rushed over here to record. First of all, Leia, you're the one that put me on, so I want you to eat first. What was your favorite part of this movie? There's spoilers. Don't be mad, LudyBros Army. There's spoilers in this. We sat down and watched it already. We're bringing it to you. So, Leia, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene in the movie was during the third round, I think, between Godzilla and Kong, was when Godzilla smiled at Kong.
Yeah.
And was just enjoying the battle itself.
Yeah. That was actually a cool scene. It was cool to see. I agree with you. That was an epic moment in the scene, and it instantly, as a viewer, it instantly makes you be like you're sucked into the fight. You're sucked into the fight, and then it's cool to see Godzilla having that reaction. He's thoroughly enjoying the fight versus Kong. I think that was a cool scene that really stands out to see the emotion from Godzilla, who can kind of seem somewhat emotionless in the previous movies.
Because in the previous movies, he didn't do that with Ghidorah. He didn't do that with the Motos. And just seeing that, I got villain vibes from him smiling at Kong during that battle.
So would you say then, based off the way that these two went at it, that Godzilla was more of the villain than Kong?
Godzilla was more of the villain in my eyes, yes.
Yeah, okay. I could see that. I mean, especially at the very beginning of the movie, we're having scenes where he's popping up and he's attacking, Godzilla's popping up and he's attacking the Apex Labs, who, you know, they're trying to, well, in the beginning, we don't even know what's really going on. He's just coming up from out of nowhere and he's causing an attack. To be honest with you, I didn't think that was Godzilla at that point because he had the atomic eyes. His eyes were blue that entire attack. And that was making me think that perhaps he was Mecha Godzilla in that very beginning of the movie. That was making me feel that maybe this wasn't Godzilla that we were seeing in the very beginning.
Yeah, but after the attack, you could see the Mechagodzilla eye in the building. And once they went back, it was gone. So they were probably still building Mechagodzilla at the time. Right.
So we get to see, you know, in the very beginning of the movie, there's an attack. You know, Godzilla comes in and he's attacking this Apex Labs, who, you know, they're saying they don't know why Godzilla attacked, but they're going to continue with their work. And then how do they bring Kong into the movie?
They brought Kong into the movie by showing him on the island, doing his everyday stuff. But what surprised me was when he took the tree and chucked it at the sky, making the sky start to glitch. I was like, oh, so he's in a containment. He's not necessarily in the island anymore.
Yeah. You know, that was actually one thing that I didn't really care for, was the fact that Godzilla had been captured from off of Skull Island and brought somewhere else. Well, I guess they were observing him. That's right, because the little screen popped up and it was saying that they were observing him on Skull Island, that Monarch was observing him. But I didn't care for the fact that they had contained him for their observation. And that, to me, already limits Kong. I mean, there was a couple of scenes in this movie that limited King Kong and leads you to, you know, to believe who's going to win in the final battle between Godzilla and Kong. There's a couple scenes that already kind of indicated which way it was going to go, and that was one of them. The fact that Kong is trapped in a place, I don't think Godzilla could be trapped anywhere.
He couldn't, because he's Godzilla. He defeated an alien. He defeated 2 Motos. He made all other Titans bow down to him.
Yeah.
What I didn't like while we were watching Kong is when he was brought on the boat. I don't understand how they were able to get that big of a monster.
A Titan,
yes, onto a boat. Like, he wouldn't have gone easily.
Right.
He probably would have fought them. So just them flashing to that confused me.
Yeah, having the incidents where Kong is under human control, basically. I mean, he was chained up at certain points, and you can see that in the previews. If you haven't seen the movie yet, it's okay. You can see that in the previews, that he was chained up at different times, and they're bringing him across the ocean on the boat. And that's another thing that indicates to me that Kong is significantly weaker than Godzilla. And to go into the battle between the two characters, you're already feeling like Kong is at a disadvantage when they're going to finally square off. So my favorite scene in the movie actually was when Kong is coming at Godzilla during there's 3 rounds to their fight. There's a scene where Kong is coming and he delivers the knockout punch to Godzilla. It's in the previews. He's got the hammer. Well, it's the battle axe basically, and he comes and he delivers a blow to Godzilla that dazes him for a minute. I think that was my favorite part of the movie. Before the movie started, who are you going for when you hear Godzilla versus Kong? One is going to fall. Who are you going for?
Well, I was going for Godzilla because I knew that he would win over Kong with the fact that he has an atomic breath. Mm-hmm. He has killed an alien, mm-hmm. and he's killed 2 of the same species.
Mm-hmm. Of Titan.
Yeah, of Titan. And seeing Kong, well, Kong also wasn't fully developed.
Right. That's important. I think that's important to remember. Kong is significantly bigger in this movie than he was in Kong Skull Island.
Yeah. So in Kong Skull Island, he also defeated a Titan that was his exact size. Mm-hmm. But I was going for Godzilla because I knew that he would win mm-hmm. over Kong. Mm-hmm. And seeing how they had chained Kong up, that gave me an idea that he would win.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I mean, I was going for Kong. I was hoping Kong was going to win. I prefer the King Kong character, but Godzilla is cool. This is something that I wish that they would have done. I wish that they would have had one more movie for Kong as a standalone. I wish that he would have gotten one more movie as another opportunity to have some cool feats. And I was thinking that the perfect character to match up with him would have been the Titan, the Behemoth, the woolly mammoth looking one. I think he would have been a good matchup for Kong if they could have had them somehow meet either somewhere else. Maybe they bring Kong to the mainland and then he fights Behemoth on the mainland, and then that's what signals to Godzilla that there's another alpha Titan and attracts Godzilla over to Kong, because Godzilla was just attracted to Kong while they were just floating down on the boat, right?
Yeah, he could sense them. He said they sense each other mm-hmm. through
their sonar, basically.
Their sonar, and he could have just, like you said, he could have just already been on the mainland, mm-hmm. and Godzilla could have
come for him over. Then. Yeah, come for him then. I think that would have been better. I definitely think that would have been better. Now, as far as these movies building on each other, I said that Leia put me on to this, and she did. I always was interested in seeing the movies, but I had never had a chance to sit down and see them. So with this movie coming out, she highly recommended that I sit down and watch them all. She'd already done it. So I did. I was able to binge watch and then watch this movie today that just came out. And I like how they did a good job, and I feel like they did a very good job, the creators of these movies, of stacking on top of each movie leading up to this 4th and potentially final installment. There was a couple after credits scenes to help keep the movie going along, but there was no after credits scene for this one. So we stayed and we waited till the end, but nothing came up at the end. And I'm very disappointed in that. I'm hoping that there'd be some way that they could take this franchise at least 1 or 2 more movies.
That disappointed me too, because I was really looking forward to seeing another movie with either Kong or Godzilla, mm-hmm. seeing how they developed them with time.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any sort of idea what you would like to see if they did come up with one more movie based on how these storylines have kind of played out? We see at the end of this one that Kong has gone back to the Hollow Earth. We don't know where Godzilla went. Maybe he's still up on the mainland. We don't know. Now there's a tunnel in Hong Kong, I believe it was, between Hollow Earth and the surface world. So is there an idea that you might have, maybe with some other Titans or another way that they could take this franchise?
Well, my favorite character out of all the Titans was Ghidorah. And with them already having the skull, maybe they could resurrect him mm-hmm. with the skull DNA. Mm-hmm. So if that were to happen, I would like to see Godzilla go back at Ghidorah, mm-hmm. even though he already done that. And that was a good fight. I'm mm-hmm. not saying it wasn't.
Oh, it was a really good fight. Actually, we're going to sit down to do a review on the other movies, the other installments of this series. And, there's little bits and pieces from each movie that stand out. So that was a good scene, from that movie, their battle scene.
Yeah. And if it's not Godzilla, then with our idea of Behemoth fighting Kong, maybe Behemoth would go down into the Hollow Earth, mm-hmm. and Kong would have to keep his territory from Behemoth, and maybe Behemoth would win, maybe Kong would win. With that, yeah, that's what I would like.
Well, the thing is like when you have so many different Titans, there's got to be some way, bigger and stronger Titans. Ghidorah is an alien. You said that in the previous thing. So he's coming down from, from another world or something like that. So maybe we could have an army of Ghidorahs coming down. And then Godzilla has to summon all the Titans together to do battle, with those guys. Or maybe now that we've seen Kong down in Hollow Earth, I was really hoping that there was going to be a family of Kongs down there that he could then lead. And maybe we could have an army of Kongs coming to the surface to either help Godzilla, or he's bringing this back up. We could do Godzilla vs. Kong 2. This time there's an army of Kongs, and then Godzilla summons the Titans, and they all do battle that way.
That would be a good movie, but I was disappointed not seeing the family of Kong, because in seeing Kong Skull Island, we already knew that his parents were killed by the skull crawlers. Talking back about the skull crawlers, in the movie they had little skull crawlers, like 6 skull crawlers in the incubus things. So I was confused with what that had to do with the movie. Maybe they'll make another movie with them coming to the mainland.
Well, in this movie they had those guys there because they were killing them. So they were training the Mechagodzillas to killing those skull crawlers, because remember that Skullcrawler came out and he got it and killed it very easily, much easier than Kong did. So that was a way of power scaling, showing us just how powerful that the Mechagodzilla suit is.
But that was an already full-grown Skullcrawler. They had the little ones in the little transportation.
Right, actually, you're 100% right. The little ones are still there. Now the question is, was their facility destroyed? If the facility was destroyed, then maybe those eggs were destroyed. Remember what happened in the very first Godzilla, where the Marine went back and he destroyed all of the Mutos, all those eggs that were going to be there for the Mutos.
But with me thinking about how the layout works, I think the eggs were back in the back of the building, because Mechagodzilla had broken out from the front, from where I'm sitting. So I think they were still there and they would hatch eventually.
Well, in the end of the day, we can go ahead and think about it like this. At the end of King of the Monsters, there was another Muto that came over to bow to Godzilla, which means that more Mutos survived from the very first Godzilla movie. These eggs of skull crawlers could easily survive, and then they're going to be able to come out onto the surface world, where Godzilla will then have to come to eradicate them, if that's the case, because they'll come out as a threat to him. So I definitely think that could potentially be, like we've said, there's plenty of Titans that are running around. There's now a whole new area of Hollow Earth that needs to be explored. And thanks to Ghidorah having his origin from outer space, then that opens us up to potential, more monsters, more Titans that are able to come and visit Earth. But what do you guys think? Have you seen Godzilla vs. Kong yet? And if you did, what did you like? What did you not like? Let us know in the comments down below. We thank you guys for tuning into this video, and we'll see you guys next time.